Now we've switched sides of the war, and now we are in control of the Autobots. First mission here, Defend Iacon. We can control either Optimus, Bumblebee, or Ratchet, and I've gone for Bumblebee for this mission. Bumblebee is a scout class character, like Breakdown and Barricade before him. He transformed into a small car, and he comes equipped with the dash ability, the shockwave ability, and the pistol, so I think he's actually really good for this mission. Optimus and Ratchet are both leader class characters, and I'll explain their abilities here in a second. Glad to see Jetfire in this game. I think I may have mentioned this when he was in the first mission, but of the Decepticon campaign rather, that I don't think his involvement in this game is exactly canon with Generation 1 if you think about it, because wouldn't he be frozen on Earth right now? But whatever. Looks like he needs our help. So yes, as you can tell, story-wise, the Autobot campaign takes place directly after the Decepticon campaign, so it's probably best that you play the Decepticon campaign first if you haven't already, just so you can keep it in order. Anyway, about the other characters, Optimus comes with a ion blaster, which is unique to him because he is the Autobot leader, so he has a unique weapon that he cannot drop, much like Megatron had the fusion cannon that he could not drop. And the ion blaster is basically a small rapid-fire submachine gun that's actually fairly powerful in single player, and is a reliable weapon, but it eats a lot of ammo to do the same amount of damage that the neutron assault rifle would do. And he also has the dash ability and the war cry ability, and the war cry ability is essentially a buff for all of your allies, and it's a typical leader class ability that is seen in multiplayer. And it's really good. It makes you a lot more powerful and a lot more resistant to damage, and it affects all your allies around you as well. Here's a new feature in the Autobot campaign, the ability to revive your fallen allies, which in this mission only happens at certain situational moments, and we won't only really be able to use it in the campaign during this mission. We actually get an achievement if we revive all of the characters that have been knocked down in this mission, all the nameless Autobot drones. But now, instead of fighting nameless Autobot drones, we now have to fight nameless Decepticon drones. Yay! The guys that we've been supporting the rest of the game are now our enemies. But whatever, they are exactly the same enemies pretty much, it's just a different faction. And so the pistol against these scouts is going to be very useful for getting quick headshots and taking them down. I took a little break between recording this Decepticon campaign and this campaign, so my accuracy with the pistol is a little bit rusty, so I may be dumping a bit of ammo into these guys to get that crucial headshot, but no big deal. But yeah, so Ratchet on the other hand is also a leader class, and he has, but he's the medic type character, so he has the Energon Repair Ray as well as the force field, and I think he has a sentry turret as well. And he's actually pretty good for this mission, I found out, but I'm not going to be using him, obviously, because I don't like controlling the medic character, typically. But yeah, these first encounters are pretty easy, especially if you play the Decepticon campaign, because they want to make it easy on you at first, getting used to the game if this is the first mission you decided to play. And really, I mean, Bumblebee is good for this mission. He's probably my favorite character for this mission. Mainly just because he starts out with his weapon, because we won't be able to get another weapon for a while. I don't think the ammo in this will last longer than Prime's, or sorry, he's not a Prime yet, I shouldn't say Prime, Optimus's Ion Blaster will. But Optimus is also very good for this mission. If you wanted to choose him, that would be perfectly fine. But I'm going to wait until a later mission to choose Optimus, so I deliberately did not choose him here, because I really didn't want to use him for multiple missions. Or at least not multiple not entire missions. You'll see what I mean later. So there's really not a whole lot to say about the combat in this first section here. It's basically just these Decepticon drones. Again, like most scout class enemies, they have small heads that are kind of hard to hit with your pistol. These guys are kind of defenseless up here with no cover, so I just ran up and meleeed him. Bumblebee has a cool little sword that he has as a melee weapon.
The skies might be clear, but our ground forces are in disarray.
Optimus, if we can get the communication grid back online, we'll be able to coordinate our defenses.
The communication grid is in the decagon. If we get there in time, we've got a chance.
Oh boy. See, those force fields are good for some things.
Not bad for a temporary command.
Where's Trailbreaker when you need him? Anyway, Bumblebee in this game is actually voiced by Johnny Young Bosch, who is a famous anime voice actor. For those of you who don't know, he does the voice of the main character of Bleach, a more common show that you've probably heard of. So, I think I've mentioned before how much I like the voice acting in this game, because they got a lot of top-notch voice actors for it. They also got Peter Cullen to come back as Optimus Prime again, bringing the original G1 voice to his character. Peter Cullen has been doing Optimus Prime a lot lately, if you've noticed. He must really like the role or something. Anyway, going across this bridge, we're going to encounter some Seekers, the Decepticon equivalent of the aerial bots, which, as I think I said earlier, in the second mission, I believe this is the first time that the term Seeker has been used canon with with Transformers. I think it was a fan name up until that point, but I'm not entirely sure on that. But the Seekers they're exactly the same enemies basically. So pistol or your vehicle mode weapons work pretty well. In this room, we're going to encounter a Decepticon Brute, which again is exactly the same as the Autobot Brute would be. But he's kind of difficult to deal with in this encounter, especially as Bumblebee, even though you do have the advantage of having the dash ability. You would also have that if you were playing as Optimus. So if you were playing as Optimus, you could also dash around him and try to hit him in his little weak spot there. In fact, Optimus is probably really good for this fight, but Ratchet is also pretty good for it too, because he has that sentry turret you can deploy, and so you can lead him to go one way and then have your sentry shoot him in the back, which is pretty useful. I may show that off later in the game with a different character, I'm not sure. But, yeah, I typically don't play as Ratchet on this mission, though. But, your vehicle mode weapon is pretty good against him compared to your pistol, because, again, it has a faster rate of fire and has a stream of bullets, as opposed to your pistol, which if you miss, then you're out of luck, because it has a slow rate of fire. So you're probably going to keep missing. So I come over here and found a Neutron Assault Rifle, which is a better weapon to have against him. Now I can make use of my dash ability and get behind him. This fight does kind of take a while. I tried to cut down on the time a lot of these brute fights, and I managed to make a lot of them go by pretty quick so far. But some of them are unavoidably really long. There we go. Now those annoying repair sentries from the last two missions, well, are now our allies, since we are now the Autobots, so they can be used in our favor. They only show up occasionally and mostly in this mission, so we're not going to be able to use them strategically in combat or anything like that. They're not just going to pop up at a random whenever we need healing. Oh boy, and the game glitches! Fantastic! I could not have done that again if I tried. Oh boy, don't you just love it when the game glitches right when you're recording it? It's not as bad as Half-Life 2 was, though. I don't think any game will be that glitchy. I guess that's contributed to the fact that I have a broken disc.
What is that thing, Ratchet?
I'm reading a massive surge of...
Get out of there now!
Well, it looks like it's one of those machines that spits out the Dark Energon. Let's go blow it up. Sounds like fun.
Let's get going.
There'll be a couple more scouts down this hallway.
Let's do this.
Now, I have that assault rifle now, but I typically just like to stay far away and try to use the pistol, but like I said, I'm not a terribly good shot with it when I recorded this, for whatever reason. Now, as far as the enemies, or not the enemy, the allies I was talking about earlier that you can revive, some of them are in some pretty random places. Like, they don't really intend you to find all of them naturally just going throughout the mission, so that achievement that's called Paging Ratchet is not something you're probably going to get the first time you play this mission unless you already know where they all are, like you looked at the achievement in advance. One of them is actually in this area, and it's outside the force field to my right, and down back where I came from a ways, and he's over there fighting some Seekers, like these over here. But that guy I completely missed for the longest time. But I did eventually end up getting that achievement. It's parts like this that make me realize why I like the Autobot campaign so much more than the Decepticon campaign, because the battles just seem that much more epic. Like, parts like this where you have all of your little AI soldiers fighting alongside you, not really doing anything, just kind of standing there and setting up the big dramatic set piece. It makes it look like there's actually a war going on here for once. Okay, so we got up here, and now we're going to have to man these turrets and defend this area from the Seekers, which should be easy enough because they go down in a few shots, and they're relatively slow moving for being jets. You would think they'd move a little faster, but for our convenience they're easy to take down. The annoying part is these guys on the bridge here with the rockets, because they can take a little more damage, and they can also hit us sooner from where they are. They can also do quite a bit of damage here. As you can see, I've got about half my health gone already. I had to bail out of here because I thought I was going to die. So rip the turret right off the tripod and keep going. So yeah, those guys over there on the bridge are your main threat, but the Seekers are going to be in larger quantities. Oh boy, Decepticon warship. So just start targeting one of its missile launchers and start firing away, I guess. I don't think its missile launchers ever actually die, but it shows them as targets. I guess it just loses health faster there or something? I don't know, it's weird. This is the only time we ever have to fight one of these things, and basically just keep hitting it with the turret. It's pretty easy to kill. Yeah.
Nice shooting, Optimus. Air Raid and I have control of the skies now.
Thanks, Jetfire. The decagon fast. Are the Iacon speedway still drivable?
From the sky, they look barely usable. You can try. Good luck, Optimus. With Zeta Prime gone, we're all looking to you now.
I'll do my best. Autobots, roll out.
Alright, so it's time we head to the decagon, which means transform and roll out. You can tell I've been waiting all this walkthrough to say that. So this is mainly going to be a driving section. We don't have to drive, obviously. Well, we kind of do to make some of these jumps. But we'll basically be going through this highway in our vehicle mode. Being a Bumblebee makes this part especially fun. Move out of the way of that destroyer there. I think some of these ways you can go multiple paths, but they pretty much take you to the same place. And then stop for no reason to take out these guys on the turrets over here, interrupting our fun driving sequence. How dare they? Okay, so that was easy. Being that there's sitting ducks behind the turret and we have a pistol already, we should be fine. Yeah, Bumblebee's speed is not really necessary here, but it is nice to have.
Was that Soundwave?
It's fun as well.
That was Soundwave.
Yeah, Soundwave is now our enemy. Let's go take him out. Oh boy. I don't think this highway is really all that safe, to be honest.